Hey everyone, it's Maya here letting you know that DJ Free Leonard has a new documentary coming out, Better Off Being Quiet, premiering in October on the First Nations Network, the very first Native American network. And he told me he named the film that for all the times his big mouth got him in trouble. So I hope you all enjoy it and hopefully he's cool now. Anyhow, be safe, be well. Peace and blessings.
Throne.
His name is
Free Leonard.
His name is
Free Leonard. Oakland in one word would be the melting pot, and the melting pot being like a potluck of just eclectic minds coming together to show the world that this is how it goes down. And that's obviously why everyone wants to be here, right? Because if it wasn't for the people, you know, these buildings and all this man-made concrete jungle is pretty much the same wherever you go. But the people here are such beautiful, standout individuals that are going to tell it how it is. And we would question, oh, Daddy doesn't love us anymore, right? So why isn't he here? And did I do something wrong? Because we internalize these things. So long story short, this place is sentimental to me because I came here during the summer times and after school, and it reminds me of my dad, and seeing him a handful of times as an adult, and always thinking that I could get some kind of support, but really just being, financially on my own and mentally on my own has only made me a stronger person, because all that anger and rage I had towards him, now I am him. And in the words of my brother Amit Hamilton of Lost Prophets, his book is called Me Today, You Tomorrow. So the way we feel is highly correlated with the way people treat us. Everything I've ever done in my life, I've never been met with open arms and, admiration until I actually earned it, because of the cultural stereotypes around being indigenous, around being from Oakland, and being one with the people that really works in the community, being influenced by like the Black Panther Party and the American Indian Movement, solidarity with that, and all the other civil rights group as well. So that's just my frame of reference, right? And I can't have a foregone conclusion that to project that on everyone else. So I'm completely, molded by different aspects of resistance that I faced. This law school, I had turned around right when I got to the front door and started going back to the car. I'm gonna go home. And then something told me, no, go back in there, right? So I go back in there, and then I give a speech on behalf of the community work that I do. And it went so well that a lady standing in the back at a table at a vendor booth, she's like, wow, that was such a great speech you gave. Here's my number. And then so I go back to working with my friend on, our curating our sets, DJing. And I told him about that lady I met. And she's like, oh yeah, she's really somebody in the community. She could help give you resources that could fund the music you want to do. So that just goes to show what she ended up eventually doing is supporting the projects that I work on. And I didn't even want to go into that situation. I was intimidated. So if I had any one thing to pass on to anyone else, is just expect the intimidation, because even the system, that's what they're going to do, is really try to intimidate us. Results, because every time I've done a show or gave a speech, there's always people that come up to me afterwards and present opportunities. So that's not something that really happens on the internet as much, but definitely when you get out there, and sometimes it's going to take making mistakes, and it's going to take falling many times, but you know, you could fall down 20 times, but as long as you get up that 21st time, you could still win, you know, the match. You could still go on and be very successful. So your failures are always just lessons learned, and your you know, your outlook and your how you feel about yourself, you know, is very important, and that really correlates with how the people around us, how we treat each other, right? I'm a firm believer that
Throne. His name is.
well, in the next 5 years, I see myself further developing Human Rights Music Group, which is my production company and record label that administrates my catalog, does my licensing, which is pretty much my intellectual property. And I hope that as artists and as content creators, we're able to get more access to the data that these streaming services and websites are collecting, so that we could use and apply that data to further our own careers and reach more people who are interested in what we're doing. So I'm trying to definitely just keep progressing and learning just a lot of different aspects. And I feel like as having my own company, one of the great lessons that I've learned is that it is great to do it yourself, but it is great also too to offer opportunities for other people to do their thing and to do what they know best, and to build trust and rapport with, like I said, different aspects of your company.
Leonard.
Hey, how's it going, bro?
How you doing?
Here you go, DJ Free Leonard. Check me out online.
All right.
Have a good day, sir.
So you do DJ for free, Leonard?
Yeah, for Free Leonard. Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Talk to them a different way, because being locked up is a very traumatic thing. And so when they come out of prison, they need jobs, they need structure, they need support. And that's what we have to do, is provide opportunities for people to flourish, and knowing how to properly conduct business and not mix it with personal, whether that be subjective, whether that be trying to get something personal out of that. That's not really business. That's being unprofessional. So
Free Leonard. His name is Free Leonard.
Personal approach, and so people get to know me. I know I've done a lot of work for Leonard Peltier, my first cousin, who's been in prison for 45 years, and all my work has been based off of explaining his case and the music. So this has just been a few minutes of your time just to say, who is that guy? What is his background, and what are some of the things that he experienced? So much love to you. Please reach out to me, and I'm definitely open to working with people in the hip-hop community, in the cultural community, and I think we definitely need to give each other the benefit of the doubt and some room to get to know each other before we're just coming in. pitfalls and traps of these broken homes. And especially here in the 80s and 90s here in Oakland, obviously you have the whole social issues with the drug issues, right? And how that would correlate to people going to school, but what's going on at their homes. So once again, I have nothing but love for all my former peers in school, and unfortunately sometimes we have to come to disagreements in order to move on, because emotionally what that means to us. So anyways, man, that's DJ Free Leonard for you. A day in the life. And one of the main things has been to trust people, but then also too to be enthusiastic about taking profits and taking money out of my pocket and helping other people, other businesses, and other people that need work, and that structure that comes with it. And definitely, like, the key is helping people. As far as saying that, say, okay, that's what you want to hear, that's what you're used to and expecting. Well, in a certain way, well, so am I. And and that's not using profanity, that's not going in on anybody except for the social system, and if anything, myself, for the mistakes that I've made that I need to learn from in order to truly progress. Record coming out, Dances with Wolves, produced by Ray Tona of Sick Witted Records. Getting ready to drop the video, which we filmed here last week, and I really hope you support that record and check it out. Previously just released the song Traditional Way of Life with Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, and my cousin Leonard, who we take his vocals that he recorded in prison of some poetry in the 90s. And I also have a record out called Freedom with Razcast, as well as a Political Prisoner remix, which I produced with Immortal Technique. So one love. Free all political prisoners. This is DJ Free Leonard. Yes, indeed, free them all. What I love about Oakland is that the memories I have here from Lake Merritt, that'd be the place, and just the personal memories I have, and it being such an influential place for hip-hop culture and social injustice, but in the mainstream media and the local news would always give it such a bad rap, and I always talk about the negativity. And so that was part of the counterculture, is proving this place is not what the media says it is. It's not the hard time that the NFL would give the Raiders, and it's not it's more of that glory from when the A's were really good in the late 80s. And I don't know how they feel. You see somebody, you don't know what they went through 15 minutes before you saw them. You don't most people, it's like they may be at work, they may be going through something in life, they may have lost a loved one, they may be going through a breakup with their girl, they may be, there's a million things that could be making a person feel some type of way, that if they're feeling good, they probably wouldn't be projecting that kind of energy. So I'm all about understanding and trying to apply. Like, the hardest things I ever experienced was being social and being myself, right? But once I actually, and that's something I'm always going to have to do, because you really have to approach each situation depending on the situation you're in. And you got to listen to your gut, and you got to listen to your instincts. Say, hey, let's not stop there, and let's keep it moving, right? And that's just completely conducive to being successful, but also to being being true to yourself and knowing, hey, I gotta listen. I gotta listen to my instincts. And that truth it may sting a little bit, it may hurt, but at the end of the day, we're gonna heal from that, and we're gonna know who we are. And when you know who you are, then there's nothing that could stop you, because we understand that other people are just projecting how they feel onto each other. And I feel like once humanity and society understands that all anyone can do is project how they feel onto you, and obviously that was something where we've always known, hey, that's not true, they don't know you. And even if they do know you, and there may be a disagreement, everyone is still projecting how they feel onto the rest of the world. And it's an indigenous thing to know that, time, space, and distance is heavily 100% influenced on emotions, right? So if I had to walk 10 miles and was emotionally feeling good and I felt like optimistic about that 10 miles would be a different distance than if I were upset and I was discouraged to walk that same distance. So time, space, and distance is relevant to our emotions, right? So our emotions basically, paint the picture that we...
Yeah, man, it's Spice One, Barcelona, Fetty, Chico, shit's nilty. I just finished watching A Day in the Life of DJ Free Leonard. Better Off Being Quiet. Hot video, man. Way to represent the gay area. Keep that shit pushing.